Welcome back to Mock the Mock, where we take a look at someone else's mock draft. And I'm mocking, give you my views, thoughts, and opinions, because we just love hearing other people tell us what our teams should do. But we should. It helps open our mind to different scenarios and avenues our teams can take in the offseason. And we're going to be checking out 33rd team and their mock draft. Let's go ahead, get into this sucker with the Chicago Bears currently at 1. Remember, draft order, this is as of prior to Monday Night Football. That's right, I'm recording this prior to Monday Night Football. But we got Caleb Williams going to the Chicago Bears. I know 50% of y'all love it and 50% of y'all hate it. I'm sure it's like a 40-40-20 split or something. But listen. What I think, yes, I'm firmly in draft a quarterback. You hear? Go ahead and extend that window of having a quarterback on a rookie deal, especially it's the first overall pick. I also understand, I get it, Justin Fields is playing great, especially when he faces the Lions, apparently. And to me, I look at that and I think, okay, yeah, do well so we can get more out of you in terms of draft capital. And I get that other people look at that like, no, man, he can be the solution. He can be the answer to who's our franchise quarterback that you've been asking for oh so long. And I get that. I get that concept, and I get maybe wanting to trade out of this pick and get in just a lot of return from it and being able to build around Justin Fields. I mean, I understand it. Like, I say I'm firmly in the camp. I'm like 60-40 on it, right? I could see the other side of it. So don't get me wrong, don't get me twisted, but I do think that them going with the top quarterback, it's just the more logical and financially wiser. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Decision. But I get it I get it if that's not the hill you want to die on. New England Patriots, I imagine Drake May. Yes, it is. Patriots currently still hold the second overall pick despite beating the Steelers. And yeah, I would think they would want to go with a quarterback. Bailey Zappi ain't your quarterback of the future. Calm down. Calm down. He ain't it. So, you know, there's a quarterback 1 and a quarterback 2 that a lot of people say are top 5 talents. So you kind of want to get in on that. Again, and it goes back to getting a quarterback on a rookie deal. It's a great place to be for a franchise, because then it allows you and enables you to build around those pieces, whether it's through free agency or other avenues in the draft or other parts of the draft. But it does allow your team to be cheaper, at least for the next 4 to 5 years. So yeah, Patriots totally should do that. Arizona Cardinals, probably Marvin Harrison. It is in fact Marvin Harrison. I mean, the Cardinals, you're sitting here. If you don't trade down, you're probably going to take the best non-quarterback prospect. For a lot of people, Marvin Harrison Jr. is the best prospect straight up in this class. I don't blame you for it. I mean, I think he's probably going to be 1 or 2 on my board. But yeah, Marvin Harrison's fabulous. You get to pair him up with, like, it mentions Trey McBride here. Hollywood Brown is a free agent after this season, but they did also draft Michael Wilson. So you're just surrounded Kyler Murray with more weapons. All right, let's go ahead and get this tackle out of the way. Yep, there it is. Olu Fashanu. I get it. Brock Bowers would be such a fun, sexy pick, but that offensive line, mayday, Sam Howell, he is in trouble. Houston, we got a problem, but it's in Washington. Olu Fashanu, phenomenal year by him. Him and Joe Alt are kind of the 1A, 1B when it comes to this tackle class. You kind of want to get in on that. Also allows you to get cheaper at the tackle position. You could have Charles Leno, you cut him, save it, because he gets real expensive next year. So it's just a smart way to go. Who be next? It's the New York Giants. They're going Jayden Daniels. Okay, so there we go. We see quarterback 3 go F5. Freshly off his Heisman Trophy campaign. The question is here, man, is quarterback 3 worth the top 10 pick? And I think for some teams, yes. If I'm the Giants, you know you got one more year of Daniel Jones, and I don't think he's it. Like, people think I'm firmly out on Fields. I'm not. I think he goes somewhere else and succeed. And even if we want to move forward with him, I think he can still be a very good quarterback. I'm not like that with Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones, I think it's just, well, we screwed up. We should have never given him a 4-year deal. Lucky you get an out in 2 years, but you're going to have to deal with him on the roster, or deal with him being on the roster next season. Question is, do you have an escape plan? An escape plan probably would be quarterback 3 unless you move up higher in the class. Question is Jayden Daniels worth it? And yes. I mean, it's the quarterback position. It's the most valuable position on an NFL roster. And if you can get that right, and I mean, right now, shoot, Tommy DeVito out there balling, but if you can get even a marginal upgrade from Daniel Jones, like, I could take this team a mile. I mean, we saw last season with Daniel Jones what the squad was able to get to the playoffs. The coaching is really good there. So go ahead, even if it's like, okay, he's not like the freak in terms of tools as a Daniel, I almost said Daniel Jones, a Caleb Williams or a Drake May, but his tools aren't too far off, and he probably is ready to start now. If anything, you draft him and he immediately is someone that can compete, vie for that starting quarterback position next season. I know they've come out and said, hey, Daniel Jones, when healthy, is our quarterback. I don't want to believe that, or I fully don't want to believe that. Part of me kind of believes they mean it. Oh, he mean what he say. Oh, they mean what they say. But I'd be willing to pull the trigger here at 5, even if it's quarterback 3. Because like for me, I got Bo Nix and Jayden Daniels fairly close to one another. Bo Nix being the Oregon quarterback, and they're probably more so in like the 20s for me, or like they're in that like 17 to 25 area. So it's like, yeah, at that point, it's like, why trade down and risk, not being able to get quarterback 3? Let's just go ahead, do it, and send it. Listen, I know you love the NFL draft as much as I do, and you're going to want a nice hefty watch list of players during this college football season. Well, go ahead, check out my draft guide. You can purchase it for only $30 by Venmoing or PayPaling me. Links in the description. It's a one-time payment and you get it for this whole draft cycle and forever and always. Technically, it's a Google spreadsheet. So send me your email when you send the payment. I'll get you hooked up. You will see my current prospect rankings and big board, my full evals. And guess what? It updates throughout the whole draft cycle. So it's a great purchase and it's a great way to support the channel. Tennessee Titans, Joe Alt, offensive line, it's not that great, makes all the sense in the world. I'm about to enjoy with y'all, we're about to live stream actually, the Dolphins and the Titans, and I'm gonna get to hopefully enjoy my Dolphins tear apart the Titans. This is the Titans on the road, by the way, so much worse team. Titans at home, I might be scared. Titans on the road, I ain't scared one bit. Watch, I post this tomorrow, and the Dolphins lost. Well, at least y'all gonna see my heartbreak in real time. But yeah, no, the offensive line's bad. I get it. Joe Alt's on the board. You just want to send it. If this is like, if it's offensive tackle 3, then yeah, you probably have to like make a decision. Oh, okay, well, what are other avenues we can go for the sake of value? Chicago Bears at pick 7 go Malik Neighbors. Oh, I love the pairing of DJ Moore and Malik Neighbors, and you do that for your franchise quarterback. With the Bears now winning and moving further down the board, it becomes a better case to be like, okay, we'll go with the first defensive player in the class. But I mean, golly, man, Malik Neighbors, Keon Coleman, Rome Odunze, they're the type of talents that make you stop and be like, okay, do we really have to take the first defender off the board? Like they're that good. So I love Neighbors going here to the Bears, again, pairing them up with Caleb Williams in this scenario. Okay, Las Vegas Raiders go with, Michael Penix Jr. This is a little early for me. Michael Penix, him and JJ McCarthy are like early second rounders to me right now. I'm not like, I could see Michael Penix at the back end of the first round. I'm not taking him this early. I get it, the Raiders, they want a quarterback. Like Bo Nix, if this is Bo Nix, I might be like, perhaps. But even then, it's like you're taking quarterback 4. It doesn't feel good. So if I'm the Raiders, I might just want to go in a different direction. Make a move, trade up. I mean, reportedly, they wanted to move up for, what, Stroud last year? But Josh McDaniels said, no. So maybe the Raiders end up being a team that moves up to go and get that quarterback. It'll be very interesting. Very, very interesting. Maybe I'll explore that in a mock draft. But yeah, this is a little high for Penix for me. Penix had a great season, though. Really did. The Jets, they're going to go Roma Dunze. Okay, here's another Jets team that has had a very beat-up offensive line. Do you want to go OT3, or do you rather maybe get another weapon to pair up with Garrett Wilson? So I like this alternative of being like, yeah, let's get another weapon. I love how Roma Dunze being just he's big, he's long, he's fast. Pairing that up with Garrett Wilson, who is just a filthy route runner. I think that's a great combination. And Aaron Rodgers is going to be so happy when he has two receivers he can throw to. Though, I mean, he's got Allen Lazard there. He loves him some Allen Lazard and Randall Cobb. This is pick 10 Chargers. Golly, Chargers are bad. They go Brock Bowers. Like, yeah, the value's great here. Surrounding your franchise quarterback, Justin Herbert, who you just paid this offseason with more talent around him. It makes sense. This does feel like maybe a floor for Bowers in terms of how far can he fall, just because people are looking at him like tight end. We're not going to take that in the top 5. But again, a lot of that matters in how you utilize him. He could definitely be worth a top 5 pick, depending on the offensive mind there, which, I mean, there's so many questions with the Chargers. Like, who's going to be the coach next year? Is Kellen Moore coming back? I don't think so. I don't think Kellen Moore, and I was a big fan of the Kellen Moore hire. I don't think he's done enough, especially as of late, to warrant, yeah, you know what, we'll fire the coaching staff, but we'll bring back Kellen Moore. I don't think he's done enough. I think you get rid of everybody. You're just like, you know what? Nope. Let's bring in some other guys. Maybe like a Brian Callahan would be flipping awesome. So still no defensive players have been taken yet. And who do we got picking next? It's the Atlanta Falcons. No quarterback on the board. We could very much see the first pass rusher here. Dallas Turner. Called it. That was easy, though. That was an easy thing to call. Dallas Turner is great. I love Dallas Turner. This whole edge class, the pass rusher class, it's going to be very tight. You got your Liatu Latu, but then he's got the injury concerns. Jared Verse, who he's been very, very disruptive down the stretch, but he kind of had the early season lull. But he feels like the most balanced of all the pass rushers. You have Chop Robinson, who's just kind of been this bit of a roller coaster in terms of his consistency. When he's on, he's unstoppable. When he's not, you don't even know he's on the field. But he probably he will test out as one of the best athletes at the position. And then Dallas Turner, guy who might have some size concerns, but just gets after it, plays with a great motor. You're gonna see so many different type of rankings when it comes to the edge class, which always makes the draft so fascinating. It really does. By the way, Falcons, they need a pass rusher. They do. Like yesterday. But hey, if you like draft content, shoot, subscribe to the channel, become a bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up. Come on, show it some love, people. All right, what do we got here at 12? The New Orleans Saints. I absolutely have no idea where they go here. They go JJ McCarthy. So I kind of mentioned that Penix and McCarthy are these early second rounders for me. They're top 50 guys, but I can imagine McCarthy probably being higher than a Penix for a lot of teams, just because the youth factor. You don't have the prolonged injury history like you do with Michael Penix, and he's got just loads of tools. Though I would argue that Michael Penix has some very nice tools as well. And I mean, the Saints, this should be easy, right? Derek Carr's been a disaster. Say, we screwed up, bam, just take the financial hit. The Saints are very good at kicking the can down the road when it comes to the salary cap. So they'll figure it out. They'll figure out some way, somehow. If you have an option to go and get your quarterback, I say go get that. In this case, it's quarterback 5, so I don't feel great about that. But JJ McCarthy, man, his playoff run's gonna mean a lot if he decides to declare or not. Got the Seattle Seahawks going with Jared first to go with another edge player. You're gonna be pairing him up with Boye Mafe. I like that because I mean you got Nwosu, who's been hurt, but they could also move on from him after this season. Darrell Taylor really just feels like a rotation player, which is fine. That's fine. It'd be nice to have a 3-man rotation there. And they do have Derek Hall, who they drafted in the 2nd round last year, but we haven't seen much of anything from him this year. I do think he's been a little banged up. I'm not positive, though. Again, kind of just saying this off the dome. You could go verify it on Google or wherever. But I do like this pick. I do like Jared Verse. It's very good value. You get a very well-rounded edge rusher there. And the Rams are going to go with Nate Wiggins, first corner off the board. Nate Wiggins, athletically phenomenal. One of the smoothest, fastest athletes you will see on the football field. We started seeing some flashes this year of that. The Rams definitely could use more cornerback help. They could use more help on that defense in general. You could also make a case, maybe go left tackle, but I don't know if there's, like, you got J.C. Latham, who probably can play both sides. You got Talanisa Fuaga, who's been a right tackle for most of his career. So maybe you're not sold that your left tackle here is available, so you go with the first corner off the board. I think that's a good pick. We got the Arizona Cardinals. They go with Liatu Latu. So I love that. Pairing him up with BJ Ojulari is just, mwah! That is just beautiful. Suddenly your pass rush looks infinitely better. It really does. So yeah, if you're the Cardinals, you'll probably just be like, okay, whoever's the top defensive prospect here, we're probably going to take that guy. It just makes the most sense. And Liatu Latu, again, probably falls because if you're unaware, back at Washington before he came to UCLA, he had to medically retire because of a neck injury. All right, let's keep it rolling. Denver Broncos go with Chop Robinson. The Broncos defense has been so much better recently, but they could be in the wide receiver market. The question is Keon Coleman, who's really the last guy left in that tier 2 of wide receivers that are available. Is he the fit you want across from Cortland Sutton? Because let's be honest, I think Jerry Jeudy's playing his last days in Denver. I don't know if that, I don't really think that that's probably who you want to go with to pair up with Cortland Sutton. So what are other options you could go? I mean, Chop Robinson, I like the prospect, but I mean, man, Denver's a team that could go in a variety of different ways. Maybe even go tackle. You make a great case for tackle. I think McGlinchey has an out, maybe not necessarily this year, but next year. And you could draft a tackle and play him at guard, and then McGlinchey, once he's gone, move whether it's Latham or Fuaga out to right tackle. I mean, there's an option there. But real quick, I gotta give a shout out to Walk the Mock. If you don't know what Walk the Mock is, shoot, then let me tell you. It's a draft simulator where you pick a team, but you're gonna be drafting against real life people. Like, we do live streams once a week where everyone picks a team and we draft against one another. It's a ton of fun. But to partake in that, you do have to be a premium member at Walk the Mock, which means, hey, go sign up, become a premium member, use promo code Broshmo when you sign up because you get 20% off, whether you want to do that yearly or monthly, and then join us for a live stream and draft against us and then talk all the crap you want. I even go back through the draft classes at the end after we get done drafting. I go through them and I talk about them. So, hey, maybe I'll talk good about your draft. Maybe I'll crap on it. You have to come to find out. This is pick 17, right? Buffalo Bills, Keon Coleman. Too easy. We can move on. Gabe Davis, he's probably playing his last days. This guy shows up for half of the season. What can I say? But Keon Coleman would be phenomenal value here for the Buffalo Bills. There might even be a case that Stephon Diggs is playing his last days in Buffalo. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Things might get spicy this offseason. Cincinnati Bengals, golly, Keon Coleman would have been such a nice pick here. I imagine you go with the tackle. There it is, J.C. Latham. Called it. What can I say? Whew, whew, whew. Called it. J.C. Latham, man, ever since the Texas game, he has put together a phenomenal season. Phenomenal. You're going to immediately keep this guy at right tackle because Jonah Williams is a free agent for y'all. And not that he's been that good, but you kind of want to keep building that offensive line. It really doesn't. It doesn't feel like that offensive line's still just been a liability, unfortunately, for the Bengals. So J.C. Latham would be a big help there. Next, we got the Indianapolis Colts corner. I imagine this is corner. Oh, it's wide receiver Brian Thomas. I freaking love Brian Thomas. I'm a big fan of Brian Thomas. This guy's going to test out phenomenal. This guy's got great ups. Pairing him up with Michael Pittman and Josh Downs is kind of appealing. I think I'd still go with corner. I think all the edge talents already come off the board. We saw a lot too. Chop, Dallas, and Verse. So yeah, all the edge talents kind of off the board here. Because you can make a case for edge. Because Gus Bradley, he has the lowest blitz rate in the league. So you want to make sure that your defensive players are hitting home. You could make a great point that Drazon Newton could go here too. So like if you don't feel good about defensive line prospects here, then it's like, okay, well, we got to get better in the secondary because we got to force some coverage sacks. So maybe you go corner. I think corner probably be the area I go. I would think long and hard though about Drazon Newton. I do love seeing Brian Thomas get some love though. I'm a big fan of Brian Thomas. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to go with Kool-Aid McKinstry. Okay. So you've had Carlton Davis and Jameel Dean beat up. I do think there might be a case that one of those guys get moved this offseason. So you go with Kool-Aid. And I mean, I don't think you kick any of those guys into the slot, though. I get it. Like the coverage has been a bit of a liability, but let's be honest, they're not getting to the passer. Maybe grabbing an edge here, but wait, all the edge talent's kind of off the board, at least the top talent. So I don't know. Bo Nix, this is Bo Nix territory for me. I wouldn't mind it. I mean, this might be just a case where Kool-Aid McKinstry is the best prospect available, and I don't hate going with that. At pick 21, Green Bay Packers go with Armarius Mims. I think it's just it becomes more and more evident that corner might be and should be the pick there for the Packers. Cooper DeJean, I'm kind of curious. I haven't looked back into it yet, though, if his season-ending injury will put him out through the All-Star circuit. So I'm curious about that. But I mean, he's such a versatile piece. You're playing him at safety, slot, corner. Like, he can do so many different things for you. I'm a big fan of Mims, and I don't know. I think we've seen a good enough from what is it, Rashid? Not Weaver. Is it Wallace? I don't know. Y'all's left tackle, former Penn State tackle who came into the draft as a project, a developmental guy, and has played this year pretty darn well. I do love Mims. I think he goes back to school though. The ankle injuries have kind of killed him. Minnesota Vikings. There's Bo Nix. Oh, apparently got to save a quarterback for the Vikings. Yeah, it's very apparent the Vikings need a quarterback. If they don't bring back Kirk Cousins, that's kind of gonna be the thing you want to watch out for. But yeah, no, Bo Nix, I'm a big fan of. I know some people. Bo Nix has a lot of haters out there, and I get it. There's things definitely you could criticize him for, but I think he's definitely one of the top 4 quarterbacks in this class. Oh, we got Pittsburgh Steelers. Corner? I mean, Terrion Arnold. This could be the spot. Hey, I called it. Yeah, outside of Joey Porter Jr., the Steelers need to add more talent, more competition there at the corner position. Wow, did that rhyme? Talanoa Fuaga would also be a very nice pick here for the Steelers. So I just want to throw that out there. Houston Texans, Mecca Buka. I get it. Especially now, I bet you we're going to see some people mocking receiver to the Texans now that you have Tank Dell down. Nico Collins just re-aggravated his calf injury. So, like, we basically saw CJ Stroud, granted, poor weather against the Jets, and you're facing the Jets, one of the best defenses in the league. And it was a tough game for Stroud. Let's just call it a tough game. And then he ended up getting concussed, unfortunately. But reuniting Stroud with one of his favorite weapons from back in 2022, Emeka Egbuka, I get it. It's sexy. I understand. So, yeah, and he is a part of that next tier of wide receivers with your, like, Brian Thomas, your Xavier Leggett from South Carolina, your Troy Franklin from Oregon. I feel like I'm A.D. Mitchell from Texas. I was about to say, I feel like I'm forgetting one. Kansas City Chiefs, this is a receiver. Troy Franklin, they're going with Troy Franklin. I like that pickup. Franklin, I feel like, doesn't get a lot of shine, unfortunately, in this class, and he should, man. He's a very good route runner. He's developed very nicely as a route runner this season, and he, I wish the hands were more consistent this year. It feels like his hands kind of like dropped off a little bit. He's had a few like focus drops and whatnot. But man, you're getting a very good receiver who's continually, like, he's put on good weight. He's at a good size right now. Like, coming into the year, he was like, he was around 170. I think he's up to about 190. That's what his playing weight was this year, and he had a phenomenal year. So I like the addition there. You get a guy that can be a 50-50 ball, jump ball guy down the field. On top of that, just nifty route runner, can create after the catch as well. Jacksonville Jaguars, plethora of options. Could be a place where we see the first interior prospect. Ooh. So you can make a case for Dylanisa Fuaga. Come in, throw him at right tackle, move Anton Harrison at left tackle, where he played left tackle there at Oklahoma. So, like, you could definitely go with that. Actually, I think I'd go with that. But we could talk about maybe, like, I think Troy Fautanu is probably the top interior guy for everybody. So let's just go see. Oh, okay, it is Fautanu. Now, Fautanu can play tackle. He's been playing left tackle at Washington, though he probably profiles better as a guard in the NFL, which still helps the Jags. Like, poor Trevor Lawrence against Cleveland was getting annihilated. But to be fair, Cam Robinson was hurt. Walker Little was hurt. Ezra Cleveland, who I think started the game at tackle, got hurt. And they had Blake Hance? I don't know. Never heard of the guy. And rough go for him. I think he's usually a guard, so he got forced into playing tackle, unfortunately. But Fautanu, man, a lot of people think he'd be a elite guard. So get it, like him. I think we're gonna see him more often in the back end of first round mocks. Detroit Lions corner, Cooper DeJean. There he is. So that'd be a good fit, man. The second, like, honestly, the outside corner position needs addressed for the Lions. Really does. That Lions defense currently on the struggle bus, and it doesn't look pretty when the offense is on the struggle bus, especially when the offense can't convert fourth downs. It's kind of what happened against the Bears this past weekend. Dallas Cowboys. This legit could be anything. Let's just see it. It's Graham Barton. So they go with Barton. I imagine at this, they're looking at Barton as a center for this pick. Okay, Gojo. Got a scratch, bud? You want me to let you out? Gojo saw his Chiefs pick and he's like, all right, I don't need to see any more. All right, let's go, Gojo. There you go, bud. Easy, buddy. So Graham Barton, I'm assuming he's going to profile as a center for this. Let's just go ahead and read it. Dallas Cowboys offensive line has been up and down throughout the seasons. Terrence Steele has had major struggles. Terrence Smith has dealt with age and injuries. Tyler Biadasz is scheduled to be a free agent. Added a versatile offensive lineman. Okay, so they're looking at it as a versatile offensive lineman, which is fine. Which, I mean, if you're going to throw Steele and Smith's names out there, are you viewing him as a tackle? I don't know. I think you view him as a center. And it's really Tyler Davis I would kick out to tackle. I don't know why Cowboys fans hate that idea. The Miami Dolphins, I forgot Jerzanu was even on the board still. Wow, that's a great pickup. This is so Dolphins could go interior on the defensive line depending on what happens with Christian Wilkins. The value is just too good at this point. Jerzon Newton, I forgot was on the board. He's someone I would take much higher. I'm a big fan of Jerzon Newton. So I would love that addition for the Dolphins, especially we just kind of saw all these tackles go off the board. They did just re-sign Austin Jackson, so you're probably looking for a left tackle. So sorry, Telenisa Fuaga. We saw Graham Barton. We saw Troy Fatanyu. So these guard center guys come off the board. So it's like maybe going offensive line isn't in the cards. So yeah, no, I like this. I like this pick quite a bit. It's great value, and I don't see it happening for my Dolphins. Maybe he does, man. Apparently the NFL, they don't like his size, and they see him more as a second rounder. San Fran's the next pick. This has got to be Telenisa Fuaga. It's Fuaga. It just makes too much sense. The right tackle position has not been great for the Niners this year. McKivitz has shown he is probably a backup level player in the NFL. You get Fuaga, who he brings that power, but also has the quicks to play in that wide zone blocking scheme for Kyle Shanahan. So, props, I like it. All right, so we have this is the Ravens pick next then. Ooh, where do they go? Oh, just tell me. Oh, Kalen Keene. Kalen Keene, I can't see him coming out. I imagine he comes back to school. He kind of had an off year. Like, yes, Baltimore probably needs another corner there. They've dealt with injuries this year. Like Marlon Humphrey been having trouble staying healthy. Cornerback 2's kind of been a revolving door with Ronald Darby, Brandon Stevens. You got Rocky Sin. So, like, yeah, I mean, I think corner is definitely a possibility for the Ravens, but not Kalen Keene. The year he just hasn't had the year wasn't good for him. And we finish this with the Philadelphia Eagles, who are going to take Quinion Mitchell. Oh, I like that, man. We saw the Eagles get roughed up yesterday. You had poor Keely Ringo not looking great. You got to wonder how long do they plan to go with guys like Darius Slay and James Bradbury. Eli Ricks has had his rookie ups and downs, so maybe you do start to look to the future at the cornerback position. I love Mitchell getting some shine here. I don't think he's a first round guy. Then again, strong Senior Bowl. I could definitely see him in the first round mix. I think he had a solid game back in 2022 against Marvin Harrison. Yes, did he ultimately win? Yeah, but I thought Quinion played him hella good. Much better than the guy that got picked ahead of him, Kalen Keene, unfortunately. But I think that's it. Yeah, that's it for the draft. That's it for the video. Go ahead. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that nice, beautiful football discourse. If you want to check out, some of the prospects that are going to be at the Senior Bowl, I did a video on that just yesterday. So go ahead, check that out. I'll probably put it in the iCard. But as always, until next time, be easy, my friends. Later.